Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings studio, here's Sports Nightly.
Welcome into Sports Nightly. I'm Yaw Bonsu. As the vocal group Boys to Men once said, "Mama, I just want you to know loving you is like food to my soul." Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there and really any woman who showed love to a child. But let's be honest, what better present is there to give than the Walleye making it to their 5th straight Western Conference Finals? Because the Central Division went 6 games, the Fish were able to clinch on home ice, celebrating in front of yet another sold-out crowd. And as Mark Kuntz reports, the Comets are behind them. The focus now turns to the Mavericks. Thank you, Mark. And 4 days. That's what the Walleye get between their Game 6 W and Game 1 of the conference finals in Kansas City. This is the same KC team, as Mark said, that ended Toledo's season last year, beating the Walleye in 6 games. Puck drop for Game 1 is Thursday at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Game 2 will be at 7:05 with Games 3 and 4 coming to the Huntington Center here in Toledo. And of course, all Walleye games, both home and away for the postseason, are live on BCSN and the BCSN Plus app. After 2 games in South Bend, Game 3 of Notre Dame BG heading to Stellar Field. The Falcons hanging with the Fighting Irish. Landon Williman ending the 4th with this strikeout. In 5 innings of work, he only gave up 3 hits and struck out 5. BG held Notre Dame scoreless as long as they could. In the 6th, Davis Johnson laying down the bunt. The throw to first is high. That allows DM Jefferson to come home for the game's first run. Parker Brustevich rips it up the gut and into the outfield, raking in 2 runs. Falcons put up a good fight, but Notre Dame getting this series sweep, winning 4-0 today. Alrighty, Mud Hens taking on the Cubs. Bottom of the 2nd, runner in scoring position. Andrew Navigado hits a ground ball to left field. Brewer Hicklin rounding 3rd, makes a go at home, and the throw to the plate is too high. Toledo up 2-0. Top of the 7th, runner in scoring position for Iowa now. Reese McGuire to the window, to the wall. A 2-run homer for McGuire, 2nd of the season. Cubs take a 2-1 lead. Iowa adding a run via sac fly in the 9th inning. Cubs win 3-1 to wrap up the series. Toledo traveling to Pennsylvania for a date with the Rail Riders on Tuesday. Coming up, breaking down high school lacrosse in the postseason. Come on back. The postseason for high school lacrosse is around the corner. It's only right we bring in Kevin Peel to break down the brackets. Kevin, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Postseason lacrosse, let's go. Super exciting.
Let's waste no time. Boys bracket, here we go. Region 1, Division 1. The matchup everybody is eyeing. Perrysburg and Anthony Wayne. Perrysburg looking for revenge after Anthony Wayne beat it in April. You called the game. What is so intriguing about the rematch?
What a game in White House. 4-3. Anthony Wayne was able to hang on and win that contest. Perrysburg had the ball, though, with a chance to tie it within the last 90 seconds. We're so spoiled to have a chance to see this matchup once again. Of course, you saw at the top of the bracket, winner will play the top seed in the region, but ultimately super excited to see how this one goes, because I really think it's a toss-up. Both teams have so many impact players, and we'll see what kind of gives. You know, can Perrysburg ultimately bounce back from that previous loss?
Now we move to Division 2, Region 5. Another stacked quadrant, and at the 2 seed is St. John's, making it all the way to the state finals last year, only to lose to the 6th seed in this bracket, St. Francis. But let me ask you, how high are you on the Titans heading into the postseason?
Very much so. I think they could make it to Columbus. I think they could potentially win a title this year, to be honest with you. I don't see many weaknesses in this team. You have the 4-headed monster of Dusing, Strayer, Weinberg, and also, of course, Alexander Spear at the top offensively. They're very sound defensively as well. They could see Ottawa Hills, which would be a rematch of that previous game. Ottawa Hills lost 12-5. Not a blowout, but St. John's was able to handle them comfortably, so that could be an intriguing matchup on that side. But of course, that's St. Francis team on the other side. 8-5 was the regular season matchup.
Blood in the water.
Yeah, 8-5 was the regular season matchup. St. John's got out to a 3-0 lead after a quarter, and St. Francis got it to within 2 in the second half. And they did a lot of things that I know Dave, Chris, and I were very impressed with. They were able to win a lot of faceoffs, put a lot of pressure on the Titans. They held on. St. John's has won some tough games lately. I mean, you look at even having to outlast Anthony Wayne in overtime at the end of this past week, 11-10 in order to get another win late in the season. So St. John's is tough. St. Francis also has playoff pedigree with Coach Loy and that roster. I really want to see that game. I'm sure Northwest Ohio wants to see that game a second time because it's going to be a doozy.
The girls' side is also interesting for a lot of reasons. A lot of these teams are not grouped in the same bracket, so you have a lot of our teams in the area as lower seeds. The higher seeds, only Anthony Wayne in our area is a higher seed among these 4 matchups. But which team here are you eyeing the most to make a big run?
Anthony Wayne from this group. Coach Tully has a solid squad. They've played some very tough competition this year. I know on BCSN, they played St. Ursula at home a little earlier this season, and that was an intriguing game to take in. That was a game that they led early. St. Ursula pulled away in the second half. A lot of tougher road games, but I know Perrysburg, Coach Stevens, not super upset with that matchup against Wadsworth. We'll see. It's not easy. I mean, it's a tough road game, but can Perrysburg ultimately find a way to pull an upset? I would say maybe they would have the best chance. Northview, double-digit wins. Coach Price has done a great job this year with this group. St. Joseph's did handle them the first time, though. So that is a tough matchup, and Finley at Olentangy, tough matchup as well. But ultimately, great seasons for all these teams, and one of them potentially pull an upset. We'll see.
Let's take a look at Division II now. As you told me before we started taping, styles make fights. It's all about matchups. It's kind of like March Madness. Which lower seed can you see upsetting their higher seed in the postseason?
Ottawa Hills and St. Ursula played an intriguing game at Niedermeyer Stadium earlier this year. 12-5, St. Ursula was able to win. Of course, the Arrows have all that firepower. Marissa Holman, 68 goals by herself. They've scored over 200 for the season. But Ottawa Hills has won some intriguing games this year, and they've had some tough losses along the way, some close losses. Maybe that game from early in the season will help them. This is definitely the game, the asterisk, the one you mark as being the very intriguing game, because I think the matchups for Maumee Valley, Central Catholic in particular, are not great. But what I'm looking forward to is on Monday night, Clay and Notre Dame are playing for the second time this year. I want to see where these two teams are at going into playoff road games. They play against each other in an intriguing matchup to kind of finish out the regular season. So we'll see. Maybe one of those teams can build some momentum and ultimately go into Westlake or Avon Lake and pull off an upset.
Postseason lacrosse, there's nothing like it. Kevin Peel joining us in studio to break down the matchups and the brackets. He's going to be on a few calls as well for some of these big-time games. He's going to have as much fun as I am watching them, calling them. Kevin, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Yaw.
IFL Game of the Week preview after the break. Our IFL Game of the Week features 2 teams that are going in different directions this season. Justin Feldkamp, Nick Ide, and Jack Muhort preview the matchup. Thank you, Justin. Coming up, Catholic League Spotlight. Come on back. Today, we are with the St. Ursula girls lacrosse coach, Paul Sieben. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time.
My pleasure.
So you guys are the 10th seed. You're facing Ottawa Hills, who you beat 12-5 back in April. How do you balance sticking with the same game plan versus cleaning up sort of the minor things that went wrong in the game?
Oh, we have a number of things that I've watched on film that we can clean up. We can reduce the number of turnovers, increase our production on ground balls, control the game better than we did.
And you guys are 11-4, first time being over 500 since the 2021-22 season. What has been the spark this season to allow you to have some of that earlier success since you returned in 2019?
We have 12 seniors this year, and we did have a 15-0 season, back after I returned from coaching at Lourdes for 4 years. And we also had a strong senior group that year. So it definitely helps to have the seniors, and we have one outstanding player. We have a lot of great players, but one in particular that has made the difference this year.
Oh, please. What is their name?
Her name is Marissa Holman.
There you
She
go.
was just selected as one of the premier players for the All-Catholic League that we now belong to. She's one of the leading scorers in the state of Ohio.
When you look at somebody like Marissa, as a freshman, she was watching a team that went 16-1. The next 2 years, kind of rough, below 500, but now being here in this position, one of the best players in Ohio, how much did the struggle of the program the past 2 years help her development and help her lead the team that's successful now?
Well, it definitely helped her, and it helped us build a well-rounded team. Now we typically have 5 or 6 girls that are scoring in our games, where we didn't have that, last year. So she's definitely the leader. Right now she has 64 goals, but we have 4 girls that are going to be outstanding next year because they're adding balance to the team. Even if you have an outstanding star, you need the balance.
And from 2000 to 2013, you coached St. Ursula. You left to start a program at Lourdes. You returned to St. Ursula in 2019. What can you take away from your time coaching college and bring with you to St. Ursula now in your second go-around?
Well, one of the things college coaching taught me is when you bring in girls from all over the country, you notice that they have learned the sport in different ways. So what I tell the girls at St. Ursula is you want to listen to the coach that you're playing for at the time, because that coach may have a different style, may have a different way of giving you instruction, and you can learn from every coach that you play with if you have an open mind. So I have found in my coaching experience at Lourdes that there were different techniques that I may not have known that now I can share with the girls at St. Ursula.
Appreciate you taking the time coming in, and we'll catch you in the playoffs. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
We'll be right back.